Hey, there we are. Listen, we had a little
Yeah, mine.
technical difficulty, and yeah, we're live now. So I wanted to jump on here and say I apologize for being late, and it's because I am very new to this program, and we're going live right now on 3 different channels. But I need to get through real quick and do my sponsor, and TYM is sponsoring this video.
This interview is sponsored by TYM Tractors.
Have you always dreamed of owning and working your land? You need just the right tractor. The TYM line of tractors are the toughest and most versatile tractor for all your jobs. Drive your dream. Visit your TYM tractor dealer today. TYM Tractors. The stuff dreams are made of.
Hey, I just wanted to apologize for apparently I didn't push the live button. I would like to blame it on the equipment and say that, but it literally, I think I did not push the go live
Oh, we got to
button.
get Ed back in here.
Yep. Well, Ed's going to be
We're
back
missing
there.
Ed.
Huh?
We're
Yeah, we
missing
got to
Ed.
get Ed. He'll be here in just a second. But what'd you do today? What you got going on this week at the farm? And if you guys don't know, Joe, this is Joe from Joe the Farmer YouTube channel. He's my good buddy, and he's going to be co-hosting tonight with me, and we're going to tag team on Ed and ask him a bunch of questions when he gets in.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Well, and again, we're going live on my channel too, and we do apologize. We're learning this thing. This will be a lot of fun, but we see a lot of familiar faces in the comments. So you guys can give us a hard time.
It's all
after
my
this.
fault, man. I own it. I own it.
It's
I
good.
had the master button to push go live. All I had to do is push go live. That's it. That's all I had to do. And I missed
For a
that
man
up.
like you that rebuilt tanks and everything else in the military for 30 years, pushing one button
I
shuts
messed
you
it
down.
up. I mean, it's a good
But
thing I wasn't the guy with the missiles. I mean, I would have messed it.
that's right. We say
So,
John Masker. Hello. All right. So
look
what's
here.
going on with us? Yeah, so we
Go ahead.
have as I said before, like Nashville, Tennessee, Middle Tennessee is basically on fire right now as far as the heat goes. So we're just trying not to melt. And then I have some food plots about to go in, and I have a new tractor coming from TYM that for those of you that may not know, I think most folks know it by now, but I'm a new ambassador to TYM Tractor, and
And a
Al
fine one,
Alumna
too.
and I, and a fine one. Yeah, I have never done anything wrong. But they did send me this shirt, which I really like. It's a comfortable shirt, but I'm still waiting on the tractor. But that should be here soon, and I'm excited about that machine because we're about to go into the season where we get a lot of stuff done outside. A lot of food plots going in, a lot of deer viewing lanes, as you call it.
Yeah, we to clarify that YouTube can be kind of strict on anything to do with hunting and guns and such. And for I probably got a mark for saying that word, but we call it
Yeah.
deer viewing lanes.
That's right. It's
and,
deer viewing.
Deer viewing lanes. When we clear out, put food plots in, those are deer viewing lanes, and we view deer at certain times of year.
That's right. We do. We make sure that they're seen, and in all seriousness, we love wildlife, and that's a huge part of my passion and what I love. And I'm excited. I know we announced the TYM partnership probably about a month ago, and I've had a lot of people reach out saying, "What tractor are you getting? What tractor are you getting?" And I'll tell you all, it's the 5520 hydrostatic with a cab. It's very
Nice,
similar. It's very similar to the 574. Very,
little
very
bit
similar to
heavier.
the 574.
So it's
Well,
about 400 pounds heavier.
Well, you would know. You know more about TYM Tractor than TYM knows.
Well,
But I've been wanting to get. I have a 73 horsepower tractor right now, which is great. But I've been wanting to get something smaller because just more nimble. I mean, and really,
yeah.
I don't always need the big SUV. Sometimes you need something that's a little more nimble to get around. And I'm super excited. It's a great machine, really good looking machine.
Yeah.
I see Rusty Garage and Homestead. I've watched your channel a bunch of times. Actually looking at 2515 because I recently have a 2515 on my property too, which we're going to be having some fun with. So, looking forward to it.
Guys, I'm trying to go through and push all of the guys that are on here, and guys and girls, try to show everybody that popped up here. But due to my negligence of pushing the live button, I had one job to do, man. But so we got Ed in the background, and because we are running a little late, you about ready to jump over there with him?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I want to point out something. I want to do this real quick. Ed is just about 25 subscribers away from being 50,000. So we literally could get him to 50,000 subscribers tonight. That would be amazing. So, get your kids, everybody subscribe. We want 50,000. So he don't know that we're doing this, but I just thought that was so cool. He's 50,000.
That's actually, I mean, that's a huge milestone too for us to be able to share with him. That's a big deal to get 50,000 people. That's like an NFL stadium of people that are building a community of things that you're doing. I mean, that's a big deal.
So I have missed a lot of comments down here. I apologize for that. And I'm just going to go to the bottom and we're going to start over again. So if you had something you were going to ask, there's no way I can get back that far up. So re-ask it again. And with no further ado, we're going to go we got this cool little intro for Ed. We're going to play that. And then it's just a few seconds. So y'all bear with us. And then we'll have Ed come on. Let's see here. Here it goes.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you're here. There is a technique that I've been told to never do this with your front end loader. It's something that I do pretty often.
$60, $50, $60. How about you?
I was going to hold my camera up over my head to get an artistic shot, but I was afraid that I'd be bidding on something. Boy, Sam does not waste time. I don't think he's been here an hour, and it looks like he's got this hole pretty much dug. Hey.
Oh, there, Ed. Hey, look here. We got you stacked right now. It actually looks good.
Stacked.
Right. So, Ed, I was thinking of something when I seen that little clip there for this time. Is that you are so genuine, man. I mean, you are you're just so real, and that I love that. And what's the one thing you're not supposed to do with your tractor?
Oh.
Back drag. I remember the video.
I believe that was that the back drag with the cylinders fully extended.
I remember that video. I remember
those cylinders. Yeah.
I've watched Ed's video a long time, and so again, welcome. And if you guys don't know, this is Ed from My Cluttered Garage, and you done added some stuff to it now, outdoors and
DIY. Yes,
because you got to do a little bit of everything on your channel, man. You got a lot going on there.
That was the intention of the channel when I started it 4 years ago. I didn't really know exactly what I was going to do. It's like starting a business. Once you do it, you're like, oh, next time I would do it so much better. But I just thought I was going to be showing things in the garage, around the house. I thought I'd be doing a little more DIY stuff in the house. But, the tractor content really is what built the channel. And that's what people come back for again and again. I've been mixing things up, showing some more homesteading type things and projects around the property, but the tractor videos, people really like that, especially the compact tractor videos, because there's a lot of new tractor owners out there.
Mostly.
And they appreciate sometimes the most basic information. We take it for granted that we know how to do this or that. And you have to realize there are a lot of people out there who have never been on a tractor before. So,
in my case, I grew up on tractors, big tractors, like 100 horsepower, big dozers, but the subcompact and the compact tractor world is different. I mean, it's totally different beast, and there's a lot of nuance to it. Just because you have a big experience with a big tractor doesn't mean you are good with a small tractor, and I've proven that several times.
Yeah, well, you've got big and small now, and I know there are bigger ones than what you have too, but. Hey,
Tony,
by the way,
Tony grows tractors in the backyard, man. Tony
does.
waters in the backyard, and he just starts growing TYM tractors back there.
Listen,
it's a tractor adventure, that's for sure.
That's right.
So, TYM has been a great company to work with. We've been sponsored by them for about 5 years now, and I really enjoy them as a sponsor because they never tell me to say anything. Reality is they don't necessarily talk to you that much. You just show the tractor work. That's all they're interested in, because that's the truth about them. It'll either pull a plow or it won't pull a plow. So that's kind of I can work with sponsors that are like that. So T1 has been a great sponsor for us.
Yeah, and I have to say, most of my content is based on my Kubota B2601 because that's what I have.
Good tractor.
Yeah, it has been fantastic. It's a little small now. I might overwork it a little bit. But without even being sponsored by Kubota, I could tell them that I have sold probably at least half a dozen or more of that tractor. I've had so many people email me or tell me I bought this tractor because of your channel, because of this, because of first watching Gord on GP Outdoors, who had the B2601, and then he kind of inspired me to get mine, and then so it.
When he finally got his cab, I was like, it was frustrating watching him operate that tractor
freeze to death out there. I'm like
in blizzards without the cab, and I'm just like,
yeah, I'm sitting there like this, watching his videos,
doing?
in the winter, like he's doing snow and ice, and I'm freezing. I'm like, my gosh.
Yeah, with his mile-long, what do they call it, a concession road.
He's tough. There's no doubt about that. He's a tough dude.
But he
I'll
has
say too,
heating and air conditioning now.
Again, I mean, like Tony said, they don't pay me anything, and I'll get to use the machine and that's it. But it's kind of like where do you put your marketing budget? And I do think it's brave of any company to put it in the end user's hand and say, put this out there for the world to see it, rather than putting a paid actor or somebody on the back of it and saying, let's get this person on this brand new shiny tractor. We're not going to have brand new shiny really anything after a short period of working it. So I think it's really smart marketing for and it's not just TYM. It's I've seen a lot of companies really start to lean on even yesterday, Big Tool Rack. I mean, when you did a great interview. First of all, I loved hearing the background of his story, business, starting from nothing. I mean, what a great story, but also, man, it solves a problem. And by him putting it in your hands, I've never seen one in person, but I just think it's a great story. So it's a smart.
And like I said last night on the live stream, you really can't appreciate it until you see one in person. Well, and I'm going to be showing it more and hopefully try to convey that a little more, because I was blown away by the quality of that big tool rack. And to your point, there are other companies that are on board with this. Like Artilian has been a great company. We've partnered with them, and they've sent me equipment. I've demonstrated it. I'm working now with Tony knows I've been starting a relationship with 𝑚𝑎𝑖𝑙. So I've got the brush mulcher here, and I'm getting ready to put that to work. And
amazing.
I tell
you're going to be so giddy. You're going to be so giddy on camera with that thing, and people are going to call you out because that is the coolest. I've got one for my 73 horsepower machine. It'll fit on the 55 also, and that is going to blow your mind.
It is a lot for my B2601. It's only 48 inches wide, but I mean the attachment alone is 1,000 pounds.
Right.
Probably the heaviest thing I've ever put on the back of that tractor. But I've already connected it. I fired it up. It turns it, so it's going to work. But I just have to make a plan to.
What's your horsepower again?
Well, I guess it's 25 or 26 horsepower, right? The B26.
I put it on the T25. I mean, it works.
Yeah, probably similar.
I mean, you're going to go. Probably exactly the same. They're really close to same size tractors. You just
my concern with it is that thing, when it mulches, from what I've seen, it wants to suck the debris in. If you run over a tree or something, and that is going to be a lot on a 19 horsepower PTO, basically. But anyway, I'll take it slow. I'll do whatever I can with it. I run the Woodland Mills wood chipper, and it runs that just fine. And that's a lot of work for the machine as well.
Absolutely.
But again, my point was, with these different companies that we work with, and I'm sure you two are the same way, I tell all of them, I'll demonstrate this product, but I need license to
say what you got to say.
To say exactly what I have to say. If there's something I don't like about it, I'm going to share that. And they're always like, they're confident in their equipment, and they say, that's what we want you to do. So I think they respect that we're honest, and that we're not going to be complaining about something that's silly. But if there's a serious issue, we'll point it out. I've not had that experience yet. I mean, everything I've brought on, I'm pretty careful about what I'm going to bring on. So I kind of know it's going to be good,
right,
to start with, because we get, as we get emails all the time for candles and jewelry and all kind of stuff.
I go on today for furniture. It was for like leather couches. I was like, what am I going to do? I mean, I could put it in my hunting blind, but I mean, what am I going to do with a leather couch? Thank you.
Exactly.
I've got makeup, and I don't know what they're trying to say, but I actually got one. It's like, your channel we've looked at your channel. We just think you're a perfect fit for, makeup. I'm like, don't.
Well, you wear it well. It's working well for you.
Right. No, that's just that little setting. You can set the setting on the camera. It makes you look 20 years younger.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So you're talking about 𝑚𝑎𝑙 before we get started on you real quick. They sent a flail mower, which was a prototype to me, and then let me try it out. and then I gave my feedback on it, and then they implemented that feedback, and it was throwing a little stuff at the bottom of the tractor because the guard was not high enough. So they put a different guard on it, sent me the new guard, and I can respect the company does that. That's instead before they send it out to the public, they'll send it to somebody like me or you guys and say, hey, will you test this prototype for us just to run it through? Because I'm going to do what the average guy does. I'm whatever the max is, I'm going to go like 3 inches over that.
Yeah,
so,
that's what we do. That's what we do.
Well, and one tip too, Ed, is that with that brush mulcher that I've realized is that if you tilt it, if you're going to work with any kind of sticks that could shoot under the tractor, if you tilt it, it'll shoot them into the ground as opposed to shooting them under the tractor, which is something I don't know that I've done even a good job of explaining on my videos.
Do you have a hydraulic top link?
I don't.
That's what I love the hydraulic top link using the mulcher, because there's sometimes you just want to like go forward and like remulch something you've already mulched, where you flatten it back out and just go right along. But then when you're going to back into a big tree, you're really going to mulch something that could come through. You tilt it up and back into it, and it, like he says, it throws it at the ground.
Right.
We need to say hello to some of these guys in the comments.
Yeah.
Money Pit Homestead, hello. Fly High Edits, what's going on? Who's your handyman? I know.
Who's your handyman?
Our boy CJ in here is Mallard 5.
Yep. That's my boy right there. He he's from up in Maine. We meet each other at the tractor show every year. He's got an Instagram channel.
Yeah, I see a lot of my Monday night Clutterites here, so I want to welcome everybody and thank you guys for jumping over here 2 nights in a row now, Monday night and tonight. Again,
for all the people just showing up, listen, if you've not subscribed, Ed is almost to 50,000 subscribers. This is a live count, so if you haven't, you can watch.
We're staying on here till we hit it.
Yeah, you want to watch that number move. If you're not subscribed to the channel, if you subscribe right now, you should be able to see that number change.
John Masker.
So,
look, I got fuel money.
There you go.
Fuel money. So I tell you what, if you go over to, it doesn't matter to me whatsoever. If you go over to Ed's channel and log into his channel and on his live, and you can hit subscribe over there and watch it from his channel. So
yeah, we're streaming live from 5 different channels now. We've got
two right now, because Joe doesn't have you don't have your Facebook set up yet.
Not yet.
So we're 2 Facebook channels and 3 YouTube channels right now. So, and we're about 80 people watching right now with 13 thumbs up. Y'all go over and give Ed a thumbs up now.
Nice.
John Masker,
I noticed that my screen interacts when I see that my screen interacts when I do the thumbs. I don't know if yours does that or not.
Does it?
Are you messing with us?
I'm not. It does. See that?
How does it do that? What if we do 2? No?
I can do fireworks. Like there's something with fireworks. Look at that.
There's probably some setting I hadn't turned on.
I don't know how it does it.
Is that must be what kind of computer are you using?
It's a MacBook.
No, because I'm on the other kind.
PC.
Yeah, if you text with Tony, you get a little green.
Right.
Bubble.
I'm an Android guy and a PC guy. I do have a an Apple sitting right here beside me. Hey, I want to do something. Huh?
Proud Papaw, that's my buddy, man. He is a incredibly supportive man, and we're just very grateful for you. Thank you for your support.
We've got a pretty good community, I'm telling you.
We do. We're very blessed, man. Very blessed.
I think we share a lot of subscribers between the 3 of us, but I do see some names that I don't recognize, so I want to welcome them and thank them for being here as well. But certainly a lot of familiar names, and it's nice to hear everybody. And we do have a great community of folks here.
I think I've known Don here at Money Pit Homestead. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years now. He's been pretty much with us on our journey from the beginning. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we go meet like some of the Homestead shows, and then we also go meet at some of the tractor shows. Hey, I got to start this out. So we normally I've been doing on our lives. I've been doing stupid jokes, and I just can't do it any longer. I'm sorry. So I come up with something better, which is useless information. So, wow, did not know this. More people are killed. It's kind of morbid, but more people are killed annually by donkeys than airplane crashes. Useless information.
Who keeps that count?
I don't know. I don't know that. Let's see here. Oh no, this is the inventor of the Pringles can, Fred Beyer, is buried in one.
He must not have been a very big man.
I would
not have been or a big. That's right.
I think they might have toasted him. They might have run him through the oven before they put him in the can, similar to the Pringles.
Wow.
Fair
That
enough.
reminds me, I had this guy, he tried to sell me a coffin. And I said, that's the last thing I need.
Dun-dun-dun. I need to give you some of
Fly
the
high
sound
edits.
effects.
Fly had
Do-
edit said
do
that's a
fireworks,
weird
Ed.
turn.
Do fireworks.
Fireworks. I don't remember if it's the thumbs or I got to do both. There you go.
There it is.
No sound effects, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
Spicer
didn't
Designs
mean to
also
take
thank
away
you.
from your fun facts. I know you like those,
Well, listen, I think that's
Thank
better than the joke because at least the jokes were horrible and at least we learned something.
Well, I will mention this. All right. We'll get away from stupid jokes, but I like this one. You have if you see 3 cockroaches in the kitchen, how can you tell which one's the cowboy? He's the one on the range.
Wow.
Yeah.
That qualified.
The
It's my
crowd goes nuts.
Yeah,
The crowd goes wild.
You got 2 thumbs up for that, bud.
Yeah, right. Nice. And we just gained some subscribers, so thank you for that.
Look at there. Let's see. Woo!
We're ticking up.
That's right. Thank you, guys. Like I said, go if you're on mine or Joe's channel, please just jump over to My Cluttered Garage. And if you've not subscribed to Ed, please do. He's a great guy, and you'll love his content. And I'm going to point out something here. Before we started this video, we were talking backstage, and Ed has started his channel roughly 4, almost 5 years ago. And I was, going back to do research on his channel before we started asking all these questions. And I went and looked at Ed's page, and I'm going to pop this up here so we can all see it. Let's go to Ed's oldest video. Let's see. There it is right there. His oldest video is better than my current videos.
You're too kind.
About 6 months ago, I bought a Kubota B2601 compact tractor. With it,
Y'all
I
seeing
bought
this?
several attachments. One of them is the RGA 1258 rototiller. Now, this is the forward tine rototiller.
I was stiff and uncomfortable, but thank you for your compliment.
Listen, I'm still stiff and uncomfortable. I'm right here. I'm here right now, stiff and uncomfortable.
I don't know. You're pretty natural. You got
this is
both.
definitely
They're very
not
easy to listen to, and yeah.
This is definitely not my my natural environment here.
I think the neat thing about being fellow content creators is that we all, in some way, lift each other up. I look at Joe's stuff and it inspires me to do a better job. I look at Tony's stuff and it inspires me to do a better job. And
I look at Ed's stuff and plagiarize the crap out of it.
Well, that's what we do too, though. That's my history is that I do have a background in video production. I've shared that with folks before. I have my own video production company. I shoot some corporate video throughout the year a little bit, but it's not, it was a full-time business for a while, but that was a long time ago. And I used to tell people, even in the video industry, I would shoot weddings for people. And the thing about the video industry, and YouTube's the same way, is really you can copy, and it's not stealing from anybody, but you learn. Like I would do videos, and you watch like 2020 or Dateline, and you start to see some styles they do, and I'm going to incorporate that into my videos. And so now I'll see what Tony does, what Joe does. I think I'll try something similar to that, and we all do better. It's
I watched like
rising tide.
I watched like 20 of your lives this week. So I'm just going to school, man. Going to school. So let me we've talked about everything in the world, but you're our guest. And for you guys who don't know who's coming in, this is Ed from My Cluttered Garage, Homestead and DIY. They get it right.
No.
Outdoors and DIY.
Outdoors and DIY. That's it.
You didn't even know either.
No, I don't know what that.
So, and then we got Joe up here, Joe the farmer.
Yeah, I'm not texting, by the way. I'm just answering the comments. This way, I don't look like a big ape, on my keyboard. So
You
answering
don't?
some comments. So thank you all.
Don't be rude, Joe. Don't be rude in text while we're
I'm trying
talking
not
here.
to, but I'll tell you that it's so humbling to see all these amazing people in the comments. Just like the community is just awesome. Like this is the reason why I started a channel. We all started channels just to build this community. It's just so cool to see all these friends and all these kind people. So anyway,
shout out to Anthony Wallace. Thank you, Anthony, for subscribing. He just commented that we've gained one more subscriber. So I appreciate that.
Yep. We're at 40. Let's see where we're at now. 49.83. We're picking up there. So if you guys, please, you've got 81 people on there. If you're not subscribed to Ed's channel, just go watch it on Ed's channel. It's live on his channel as well.
It would be exciting to see that number turn over tonight during the live stream.
It would be amazing.
We missed a pretty solid joke by Chefhead Ed, by the way. I think we need to scroll up and get that joke. I'll read it to you.
Oh, you read it.
So I saw
it like it's your own.
I'll use my radio voice. So I saw a picture of Mount Rushmore before all the faces were on it. The view was unprecedented. That's a pretty good one.
That is.
Hank would enjoy that one.
Yeah, Hank is like, he's got a joke for everything. All right, I want to do one real quick before we're going to start asking you some questions because you're a guest. But I'm going to do one more useless information, and then we're going to jump into your channel, man. Let's see here. Oh, you're waiting on me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're going to give us a fun fact. Come on.
There are more fake flamingos in the world than real ones.
That makes sense.
It does make sense because you see
a lot of them.
typewriter.
That's something.
The word typewriter is the longest word that you can type using only the top row of the keyboard. Dun-dun-dun.
Wah, wah.
Oh, there you go.
So Sabine River, I know Sabine River Valley. I know I pronounce it wrong every time. I apologize. I'm not trying to be funny, but he's talking about my buck, and this is my prized possession. Archery buck, 183 inches. I'm not here to brag, though. It's okay.
Go ahead, man. This is Ed's interview, but
you'll do anything for a buck.
I'll do anything for a buck. I like that. That's a good joke, Ed.
Thank you.
All right, so we looked at Ed's channel, and like I said, he started out with his first video is better than my current videos. It's amazing. You're really talented, man. But I've been watching your channel for a long time, and I kind of I went through all your videos and kind of looked at pivot points, and I think I see one of the biggest pivot points that I see is that you bought a farm a year ago, and so 1 year ago you bought this farm. Do you got regrets? What's your regrets, what your loves, and what is it everything you thought it was? And if it wasn't, talk us through.
Yeah, we have just wrapped up our first full year here at the farm. We moved 0.7 of a mile from where we lived before. So the move was kind of easy to make because we're in the same town. We're in the same. Really, it's just familiar. I've driven by this place my entire life, so to be here is pretty neat.
Does it have a family connection, or is it
not at all? Not at all.
Just I like that.
Yep. I had met the owners once before, years and years ago, but we really didn't know them. And the way we bought this farm, I'll kind of give the quick backstory here, and then I'll answer your questions. But I'll probably make a video on this at some point as well. But my wife and I always wanted to have a farm or have more land. We had 4 acres at the other property, and that house and property did have a family connection. I got to stop making hand gestures.
It's awesome.
My family,
so appropriate.
Yeah, right. My family moved to this area in 1923. They came down from New York, northern New Jersey. Before that, they were immigrants, but they came to this area in 1923. They bought a 13-acre farm. And the house where I had lived my entire life was a 4-acre piece of that farm, and my parents had built the house there. So we sold that property exactly 100 years after our family had moved to this area. So it was a long history of that property being in the family for 100 years. Now the house was like 65 years old because my parents built that, but it was a big decision to sell that house. But we always wanted to have a farm or land. It was just a dream that I had my entire life, and Ann had the same dream. And really for about 5 years or more, I just wrote letters to people in the area, when I would see a property that I really liked, I'd write them a letter and say, you know, we would like to have a farm. If you're interested in selling your property, let me know. I probably wrote 15 letters to people. So we didn't go through a realtor or anything. And this property, I had, again, driven by it my entire life. I knew it was a 30-acre property because I looked at the tax map. So I wrote a letter to these owners and told them the exact story, that I've lived here my whole life. We always dreamed of having more land. And they wrote back and said, we'd like to talk to you, because they were currently not living here because they had another house. This house is multi-story home, and they had moved on to a single-story home. So they were interested in selling it, especially to someone that they could trust. You know, they said for years and years, they would receive letters from builders who wanted to buy the land, and they did not want to see the land developed. And we shared that's our vision as well. We don't plan to ever subdivide or build anything on the property. So they felt really comfortable, really entrusting us with this property. So it was really a neat story, and we formed a great friendship with them as well. So we've been here a year, and I have zero regrets. I mean, having moved from the house that I grew up in, I thought it was going to be really difficult, and it was. Making the decision was difficult, but once I walked out that door and into this door, we've had zero regrets.
So what is the one thing that has happened that you weren't expecting? You know, when you buy a new property, like there's always that one thing, like, oh, that wasn't on the plan.
Well, here's a funny, sad story, and I shared this in a video as well. So we make this major life-changing decision to sell the only home I've ever known, the home that I grew up with my siblings, the house that my father literally died in. My mother died when I was young as well. You know, like we had grandparents that lived there with us. So it was emotional attachment. So it was really a big decision to make that happen.
Right.
Major life-changing. Right as we were coming up on the date for closing on this property, I lost my job.
Oh, no.
I lost a full-time job that I had for 11 years. You know, the best paying job I ever had in my life. It was a great job. They restructured, and I lost my job. So here we are making this major move. And, you know, if I had lost that job a month or two sooner, we would have said, we can't do this. We can't make this happen. So it was kind of good that it happened after we signed all the papers, but that was something we were not expecting. And it has not been easy, but we took that as a sign from the universe saying, you know, just try and make this farm thing work. And I've been doing full-time content creation for a year now as well. I'm coming up on 1 year with that. That was like August of last summer. So I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm doing different things to earn income. I'm trying not to go back to the corporate world if I can manage that. But you talk about an unexpected thing that comes your way, like, and all we could do was laugh, like, oh my gosh, just throw this on us now too. And on top of all this,
I'll be honest with you, when I asked that question, that was not what I thought we were going to get.
It was pretty major. It was pretty major.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that's proof that, I mean, the thing about YouTube is that it's real people and real lives and like real consequences and real situations. And, you know, God's provision always seems to provide, because I know that when Holly and I were looking at you actually said something, Ed, that I wrote down, you know, entrusting us with the property is so true, because and a lot of folks in the comments probably have gone through the same experience when they're buying land, because there's a lot of people who own land in the comments, and land finds you don't really find it. And when that happens, it's just like you just have to trust the Lord that, you know, you'll move heaven and earth, and he'll move heaven and earth to get you the property that you really should be on. And you're right, man. If it was the day before closing, you probably would have backed out of it, and that wasn't the plan.
Hey,
So,
let me pause this for just a second. I hit my finger the other day with a hammer, and I thought that was a bad problem. And this is a very inspiring comment. Let me put this up here for you guys. That's pretty amazing. That, you know, Mr. Lyons there went through all of that, and just look at his attitude, and that's, you know, I love that.
That's amazing.
That touched my heart right there. So thank you, Mr. Lyons.
I remember Rhett's name last night from the live stream. I believe I think he knows Tim from Big Tool Rack, and he had mentioned some health issues. So I'm glad to see.
Joe, you got a question for him?
Who, me?
Yeah,
I do, but I was going to tell Rhett.
Go ahead.
We'll be praying for you, Rhett.
Absolutely.
My name, brother. I'm writing your name down, and I remember seeing your name last night too. And you're not alone, brother. We got your back. So I have a question, and my question is that so your channel's called My Cluttered Garage, which I think all of us can relate with 110%. What is the number one frustration about your garage? Like, does clutter bother you? Because clutter absolutely just wears me out. But like, what's your biggest frustration? And I guess you can also barbell that with like, what's your?
It's not big enough. It's never big enough.
No, that's a fact.
That's a cop out. You can't say that one because we all need more space.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what's the thing in a garage that just drives you nuts that you just don't enjoy, but you have to do it anyway?
Well, even a year later, we still have moving boxes in the barn. You know, we took a 3,500 square foot house and moved everything up to this 2,000 square foot farmhouse. But luckily it has a 3,000 square foot barn. So anyway, there's still junk that we're dealing with. And I guess I can talk past tense, because what I used to do was I used to be much more of a saver. And as I've gotten older, I've gotten better at just getting rid of things.
Yes, me too. Absolutely.
When I cleaned out the garage from the other house, you know, there were things. There was a tool hanging on the pegboard. It was a tool that I fabricated when I was like 17 or 18 years old, because I had to make a tool to get the oil filter off my Jeep. I had saved that tool since I was 17 years old, hanging on the pegboard, and obviously never touched it again. It was, you know, decades and decades. So I threw it away, and but I'm getting better at that. So I think the biggest frustration for me is having things that I still struggle with the fact that they're too good to throw away. They're not good enough to sell or really give away. I don't know what to do with it. You know, nobody really wants it, but you still feel bad disposing of something. It's really difficult.
And the day you get rid of it, the very next day you'll need it.
Always.
That's the problem.
Fact right there.
But that's kind of life, I guess. So, and then there are a ton of things I got rid of that I never missed again. So
it's good being friends with Tony, because Tony wants to get rid of stuff all the time. So I'm always taking Tony's old stuff.
Oh, so good. Well, I'll send you some stuff then, Joe.
We're constantly building projects, and this is the way my mind works. Like, we'll build the greenhouse and we'll work really, really hard to get it done. And then I'll stand back and look at it like, that's awesome. What are we going to do now? I don't care about stuff. I mean, stuff literally means nothing to me. I love the journey. I love let's make something. Let's do something. So once something is done, it really holds no value to me whatsoever.
Well, Tony,
I think that's spam, Tony.
Yeah,
I think we need to remove that, because we're not going to be sending 400,000 euros to a French bank account. It's probably not.
I can't do it. It's on one of y'all's pages.
And maybe on yours, Ed.
I have some moderators on my page that can.
Yeah, it's on your Facebook page, Ed.
Is it? Oh, well.
Or I guess it could be mine, possible, but
no, it's got the little link next to it.
Yeah, it's yours.
So I was able to delete it. I don't think I can block them from here, but
yeah,
I've had a few trolls in my life.
Yeah. Don't give them 400,000 euros. Just saying.
It's about 600 grand, right? I mean,
yeah, probably.
That's probably not going to happen. Scott Hurst is right. I put stuff on Facebook Marketplace for free. Must pick up in 1 hour. Does it usually disappear? Does it disappear in 1 hour? That's the big question.
I'll tell you the great thing about the other property that we had. It was on. I mean, we're in rural southern New Jersey. It's one of the most rural counties in the whole state. It's beautiful here, but we lived on a. Do you want to laugh at something there? We lived on a more of a main road in the past. And I would put things out by the road with a sign that said free, and it would always disappear. So that was a good thing about that.
So funny.
Subbing, is it Subbing River Valley? I saw that earlier in the comments. Subbing or
Subbing? That's so funny. He's like, kids moved out. I'm all right. Next on to the next thing.
That's right.
Just kidding, he said. All right, that's so funny. We got anything else for him, Joe? You got another question? I got a couple questions, and I got plenty of more useless stuff because I went all out today on the useless information. I mean, I got
I
stuff
think
here to blow your mind.
uh, I I don't really have any specific questions. I think that yeah, Ed, you're just a good interview, man. You're just very good at telling your story, and you have a very interesting story. So I just appreciate you kind of sharing with everybody, getting to know you better. We've never met in person, but yeah, this is awesome. You know, I've been watching your channel for a while, and it's just, I think it's just fun to get to know people
Now
without
you're,
being in script.
I appreciate that. And you're both. You said you're both in Tennessee, but
Right?
Yes,
how far apart are you?
What we got 4 hours?
he was
Not
just at
far.
my farm last week. I can't get rid of him.
Yeah, and
Man.
not far enough for Joe's. For Joe, because I'm like always
Nice.
popping up at his doorstep, bringing him something.
Tony
I love
and
it.
Tony and I tried to catch up when Ann and I went to Memphis a couple
was
of years
wrong.
ago.
We were going to do a show, or we
We were going to meet up, but you had something going on and couldn't get away, and
right.
so we were heading from Central Tennessee over to Memphis, and
So I was
So
going to
Ed,
ask you this question. I probably still led with this question. What do you consider your channel? What is like your genre? Because I was looking through your stuff, and you got a pretty broad, brushstroke there.
well, maybe so. I mean, it's outdoor and DIY, Tony.
I seen you
And,
putting
like,
in piles under a stove, and
well, like I tried to create kind of a channel within a channel, and I really haven't gone far with that. But I was starting this farmhouse adventure segment, and I was going to show more of the interior work in the house.
I love
But
that.
yeah, and I struggled with, should I start a whole second channel for the farmhouse work, because it really doesn't go with the tractor content, and those views weren't great on those type of videos. So I maybe I shouldn't have stopped, but I kind of have not done as much of that. So I'm still focusing more on outdoor content. I'm doing a lot more firewood content now, which I hadn't done before. But now we've got 30-acre property and
Lots of trees.
33 acres, and 29 of it is trees.
Right.
So a lot of firewood content that has been growing somewhat, and then I am trying to show more of, I don't know about vlog style, but just work around the property.
Your life.
Yeah, exactly. What's
Yeah.
going on with our life? We had that orphan lamb that we raised, and I featured her in a few videos, and of course she's a few months old now, doing great. And you see her in the background in so many of my videos now, because we let her run free, and she just kind of hangs out, which is fun. So the idea with the channel, when I started My Cluttered Garage, the thought process in my mind was that a cluttered garage has a little bit of everything, which would be welding, repairing things. Our garages are filled with all types of things. So that was the concept behind My Cluttered Garage, because
I literally found a floor the other day.
you found it, huh?
Yeah. There was
It took 2 or 3 hours to find it, but he
I
found
carried
it.
some stuff to Joe, and next thing you know, I was like, "Damn, there's a floor there."
You know
That's
what?
right.
Where'd that come from?
There is no better feeling than when you can walk into your shop or garage and walk in a straight line.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's like this is amazing. I just walked from
When
one
I
end to
do
the
it, I'll
other.
let you guys know. Okay.
So Ed, I want to ask you a question. So when you're putting your content together, and there's a lot of folks in the comments that are content creators, so I don't think I'm going to bore anybody with this question, but like when you're putting together your concepts, first of all, I love My Cluttered Garage because it's brilliant, because you're right, like it's everything that any dude would want to be a
love
part
it.
of, right? It's
appreciate that.
very, very smart.
Better than Tony's
But,
Tractor Adventure. Didn't think that one through.
well, if you really want to get Tony's goat, say Tony's Tractor Adventures.
Right.
When you
Yeah.
put
I
the
only got one
adventures,
adventure.
he loves that. But when you're putting together a video concept, do you kind of, do you decide I'm doing tractor work today, or today I'm going to do firewood, or is it just kind of a progression of the things that the chores you have to do, and you just bring the camera along? Like, how deliberate are you in your process?
Well, first I open up my daily spreadsheet and look at my
Okay, there you go. Yeah, get the abacus going.
Yeah.
For a quick second there, I was really feeling bad about myself. I was like, "Oh,
I thought he was serious for a second there too, and I realized.
I do not plan that much. Now I have kind of a list in a mental list of projects that I have to do and want to do. And like, that'll make decent video content. But a lot of times I will just think about what I have to do for that day, and I'll wake up and think, I'm just going to record that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it. some things I do put some work into, like some of the how-to videos. I try to put some work into that, but I rarely script anything. It's just kind of off the cuff. I may have to do 10 takes, which people don't see that often, but I do, you know,
Done that
I don't
before.
really script it. I also, coming from an editor's standpoint, and again, you've got some content creators who might appreciate this, but I come from a time where, you know, we used to edit on videotape, and that was called linear editing, because you just had to build the tape piece by piece and build the story piece by piece. And then in the late 90s, 2000s, computer editing came out, which they called non-linear editing. So you could lay down, you know, a piece of video, and then you could say, oh, I want this piece in front of that one, and you can move it to front. I mean, we take it for granted now that it's so easy to manipulate things, but there was a time when you couldn't do that. But now I find myself going back to my old linear editing skills. And I kind of shoot in order and I edit in order, and that allows me to get the content out kind of quicker. I find that if I do a major project like we were doing with the house renovation, you shoot over several days and you have to try and put it together. But now if I go out and I shoot for 4 hours and I come back and edit for 4 hours, I get it all in line, and it helps me get the content out quicker. Because
you got a question there, Ed?
Question, Ed, do you shoot or edit every day? Not every day, but quite a bit.
The content monster is hungry.
Yeah. That was the biggest surprise to me with YouTube, was how current it is.
Right.
I didn't know that I thought I would make a video and it would just be out there and it would grow. But to see that the content has to be current was kind of a surprise to me. And I guess that's part of the algorithm. That's to keep content fresh on YouTube, because so much. I'm honestly amazed and thankful that anybody finds my content. When you think about the billions and billions of videos that are out there, the millions that are uploaded daily, you know, we're just really fortunate that people find our stuff, I think.
I 100%, and that's why earlier, 50,000 subscribers almost. That's an NFL stadium full of people that have
I never thought of it that way. That's amazing.
I mean, they've enjoyed your content so much that they're willing to subscribe. And subscriptions they're getting a lot harder, because I think people realize the value of that sub, and they should, because if someone's going to do that, I mean, I think that's almost I don't know. Every single time I get one, I remember that there's a face and a person and a family, or someone who's interested in what I'm doing, and it's not an ego thing. It's just it's exciting. It's like another person joins the community, and what's really cool about a channel is when they all start working with each other in the community and talking with each other, and that's when it's like, wow, we built this. It's just awesome.
You guys do me a favor. I see some people that are just that are logged on to Tony's Tractor Adventure watching this live. If you would do me a big favor and get over onto my Cluttered Garage outdoor and DIY. I suck at it, man. I'm sorry, because you were my Cluttered Garage when I started watching. That's all you were. So now you went and added some extra words.
I added that. I thought it would help with the search engine. I don't know.
I think Tony should add an S to My Tractor Adventures.
Yeah, because it definitely is an adventure. But anyway, you guys.
He has more than one tractor though, so it's My Tractor's Adventures.
That's right.
Jump over to Ed's channel and watch the live there. And if you would, give him a subscribe, because he is a quality guy and quality entertaining, and he shares. He's just really genuine. So I really think the world of him, and I know you guys will enjoy what he's doing, because he's, like you said, he shows when he messes up. He shows when he messes up, and when you can celebrate his wins and his losses.
Thank you, Tony. Somebody had mentioned a blooper reel, and I do sometimes. I'll throw a little blooper reel on the end of a video. I
never make any mistakes, so I don't.
Well,
Yeah,
I think my whole channel.
You believe that, right?
Yeah, just about everything we do is a blooper reel. I don't know if you all saw my most recent, and going back to what you were saying too. Our most recent video that we did, it may do 1,000 views, but it's more of a vlog, and that's really why we started the channel, was to be like a family video diary of us just doing things on the farm, right? So, my process has always been like, what's super interesting, or top of mind, or something that's kind of right in front of us. But I'm really surprised more people didn't beat me up by how bad it looked when I was fixing that metal roof in that video, because it was like the roof is flapping up in high winds, and Holly's nervous I was going to get my face cut off, and I'm the wind's coming up, and I'm just knocking nails down so I can get it flat, and then finally get a bite on some old rotten wood. And it was like, wow, this is not good video, but it's entertaining to me. So
I like what
For
Scott
sure.
said there. That and he's he's our views our channel, and that's really and in a roundabout
thank you,
way,
Scott.
he's kind of our customer, and we don't want to.
Right.
I don't like watching snow videos in summer. It just doesn't ring.
I do.
See?
Right now I want to watch snow
I can't
videos.
be your
It's
friend any
so hot.
longer. I'm sorry.
It's so hot. It's just so hot outside. And that's the when you said earlier about taking multiple takes, I think to myself, like, I'll take a take and see just sweat pouring down my face. I'm like, nobody wants to see this. Nobody wants to see some big dude with a sweaty face. So
Yeah.
and also going up real quick, let's see. We had someone was asking if I was going to, I think it was our friend from Money Pit Homestead, Heartland Homesteaders meetup. I don't know that I'll make that, but I would. That's Don, right?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's between Land Between the Lakes. I think it's in
Okay.
Grand Rivers, Kentucky. So it's
Okay.
pretty close by. We went
Yeah, that's
there.
not that's so far.
We went the last 2 years. It was fun. Last year I went and I had he can tell you, because I only stayed like an hour and left. I eat food and left because I kicked the 3-point hitch off of my tractor and broke my heel. And I was running around with a little boot on and whole 9 yards, and I gave it good effort, but I was like, man, buddy, I love you, but I got to go. Yeah, there you go.
Can I back up just a second here? Maybe I was daydreaming, but what are you talking about? Are you talking about an event or something? Did I miss
Yeah,
what?
It
it's
was
a
a comment.
meetup.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
Well, it's a comment from Don. It's the Homesteader meetup in Kentucky.
Homesteader meetup. Okay, that's yeah. I didn't know what.
And Don, I would love to meet you sometime, shake your hand. So I know
Good
I'm
dude.
going to the Equipment Expo in Kentucky in October, and I'm probably going to go to the Farm Machinery Show in February. I know that those are two that are on the radar, but
I will say this: if you go to that homestead, they will feed you.
well, I do like to eat.
There's a big homesteading event in Tennessee that I saw advertised. You familiar with that one?
Mm-mm.
Homesteaders of America, I think it is.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never been to it.
Yeah. It's
I wonder where it is.
We go to so many
Columbia,
shows
I
now.
think.
I'm kind of booked on shows. At some point I got to stay home and work.
Well,
I just love meeting people.
I do too, but I want to tell another useless piece of information. This is useless, but it's kind of interesting. In France, it's illegal to name a pig Napoleon. Who knew?
In France, it's
Illegal.
huh?
weird
It's
stuff
illegal to
going on.
name You cannot name a pig Napoleon. It's illegal.
Speaking of livestock, what do you call a cow that just gave birth?
What?
Decaffeinated.
I said that. That I already done that one.
Oh, you didn't remember it? Sheesh. Well,
I did that one a couple of weeks ago. Farm jokes. I love it.
Ed, we had a question about what camera you're using, because you do have pretty high quality video, and actually, the lens was called out up here, which will be really impressive if they were right. And we also had another comment asking for stickers. Do you give stickers away a lot, Ed?
I do, but I see you're not set up to do the giveaway, but I do a giveaway every Monday night. So
Okay.
You have to do the StreamYard giveaway tool.
Oh, can you give away your big tool rack? I would like to be the recipient.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll work on that. So yeah, there's an option with StreamYard to do the giveaway tool, and then you can actually do that. So we won't be doing that tonight, unfortunately, folks.
Because Tony's unprepared. I'm just proud I found the live button.
At least you found the live. I was sweating backstage, thinking I'm looking at my phone, trying to dial it up on my phone, and like, why is it not working here?
Listen, I know I clicked it come up, but you have to hit. There's two parts. You push live stream, and it says go, and I didn't push the go.
And then I started reading comments and thinking people are not. So anyway,
Tony, CJ is wanting me to come hang out with him at the Farm Machinery Show. I'd like to hang out with CJ. I'm just afraid I'm going to have more kids if I do.
That's right. Well, we need to have a talk about how that happens. I'm just saying.
I'd love to hang out with you, CJ. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's a great dude. I think the world of him.
What
Yeah.
was the question about the camera and the lens?
Yeah, I couldn't find it in the comments, and I apologize. I
Yeah,
think
they said
this
moving
it's in
by
the
pretty
peripheral
quick.
vision. Yeah, if you could just repost the question about what camera that Ed's using, and Ed, don't answer yet because I'm kind of curious if he was right. That's impressive if it is. I think most people are using GoPros and DJIs now these days.
I was going to say I actually use multiple cameras, so let's see what the question was.
Yeah.
So
I started using the main channel. We got a really nice camera, but we generally now are using the DJI Pocket 3.
Yeah,
and it's been really good for us.
So I've noticed the Pocket 3. I actually filmed this past it's probably 2-3 days ago. I had my skid loader and a Baumolite auger, which Ed, the Baumolite auger is just phenomenal. Like it goes, front of the skid loader, it will dig a 12-inch hole in 30 seconds. Like perfect.
But you have to have a skid loader.
You do. And you can actually put, they make them, I think, for the back, or no, they'll make them for the front end loader for a tractor too. But anyway, it was probably 105 heat index. And any of us that run a GoPro in 4K know that the GoPro would have died 4 or 5 times. Take the battery out, shake it, blow on it. It's like an old Nintendo, right? You take the cartridge out and blow on it. And the DJI Osmo 3 does not overheat. It was impressive that thing will take some heat.
I've never had a GoPro, so I've heard about those issues with overheating, with losing footage. Never had one, and I've never had a camera with any issues. Any of the cameras I've had.
So we use like our main. We have a Tanya. She's a photographer, so she's good with cameras, but she doesn't use a DSLR. She has one, but she doesn't use it for video. She uses I can't remember. It's like a professional Canon. I'd say mid-tier video camera, and it's what it's made to do. And it can be out there at 110 degrees and it won't shut off. So we've never. It's the second one because I backed over one with a bush hog. Yeah,
that'll do it. Joe, do you have a camera crew like Tony does?
No. Sometimes my wife will hold the camera and I'll hold the camera for her, and then sometimes my kids will hold the camera, or the number one thing that holds the camera, which is, man, I'm giving out trade secrets now. So this is, this is real secret stuff. I have the claw that goes to a GoPro, but I can also hook the DJI up to it, and I clip it onto the side of a side-by-side, and then I clip it to just about anything it'll clip to, tree limbs, you name it, because I think I said in a comment yesterday on your live stream, I've broken probably 15 different tripods. And Bob is right. So there's a little bit of a friendly war going on in the comments. I do have a Coyote also. I have a Coyote RX 7320. It's a 73 horsepower tractor, and my TYM. Yeah, it's a beautiful tractor. And the folks at TYM were super complimentary. They weren't like, hey, that's bad, we're good. They're both South Korean companies, both make very fine products, and the TYM will be a 55 horsepower tractor. I think it's 47 at the PTO. Is that right, Tony?
Yeah, it's very handy.
Nice,
very handy.
Yeah, hydrostatic, which is going to be really nice, especially with the brush mulcher we were talking about. So my current one is it's a big tractor, and it's power shuttle. So you're kind of feathering with your power shuttle wand to go forward and backward with that brush mulcher. Having hydrostatic is going to be a major upgrade for using that brush mulcher.
And I feel like a complete failure. I really thought we were going to get you to 50,000 tonight.
It's okay, Tony. It will get there. The channel.
We have a little bit. Our team. I think a lot of the people are already subscribed because we have a lot of the same viewers.
Yeah, and the channel is growing consistently at 40 to 50 subscribers per day. Thank you for that one.
There goes one.
For a while, it was growing at about 20 subscribers per day. So it is kind of, I guess you'd call that snowballing a little bit. But anyway, I can count on like 50 a day at this point, which is really nice.
Tomorrow it's going to happen. But it would be better if it happened on a live. We'd been part of it.
It would have been exciting. I'll quickly talk about the camera. So to that comment, the answer would be, it depends on which video you're watching, because now they had mentioned a Sigma 1.8 lens, and yes, I actually do at times use the Sigma lens 1.8 16 millimeter. It's great, but it's big, it's heavy.
You might as well
Sometimes
be
when I
talking
want
German
when
to
I
me.
want to have a really nice looking video, I'll pull out the Canon M50, which is, I mean, it's just amazing quality. But then I discovered the Action 3. I had the Action 1 originally, but I've got the Action 3. Most of my content over the past year has been shot with this little guy because it's just so convenient. Not the greatest picture, and I shoot in 1080 because I don't really want to waste all that drive space.
Not this guy.
But this is really handy to have. And then I did pick up the Pocket 3. So the last video that I put out was with the Pocket 3, which
Did
looks,
you get filters for it?
I got the filters. It came with a 16, 64, and 256 or something. I've been putting the 16 on. I'm still learning the
Bright sunny day, I go with a 32.
It didn't come with a 32. It came with a 16 or a 64.
Yeah.
It was the
I
DJI kit.
I got like the six pack or whatever it was, and
yeah,
6 different filters. I went through it, and it was definitely the for I mean, you can do a 64, but on a really bright sunny day. But I find that because half of our stuff is shot in the woods in the shade.
Yeah.
So if I we'll put a 32 filter on it, an ND 32, then I don't get in trouble.
Yeah, I've been using the 16 today. I was using the 16, and then I just dialed down the exposure.
I keep mine set on stupid.
Yeah, I dialed down like -1 or 1 or 1.3.
I just pushed that little red circle button. Am I doing the right thing?
That's the thing.
That's
too.
That's what I do. Yeah.
But I'm really learning that Pocket 3. It's a different experience to shoot with that.
Have you tracked your stuff with it? Like you can set it on tripod?
Yeah, I have. And that's kind of
nice
neat.
feature.
Yeah, but I don't
the
know.
Timing's not always there, so I'll do that. Especially like I want to mow, and then on the sawmill, like when I do the sawmill, I'll use because the dust makes her have allergies, and so I'll use the tractor. You know, I'll draw a square around the sawmill head, and it'll go right through, and it does a really great job.
It is pretty neat. It's definitely
it's a lot better than the 2. So
it is impressive. It's pretty cool how that thing works. Because Tony he came to my farm and showed it to me. And again, I've done a lot of stuff on GoPros because they're durable. Like we're very, very difficult on cameras. And I bought a Canon camera, and it's nice. It has nothing.
Yeah, we're getting geeked out here.
Yeah.
Well, we are getting geeked out. But the truth is that I think a lot of us, whether you film what you're doing for your family or I hunt. You guys probably know that. And a lot of the guys that I
never would have guessed, man.
Yeah. Sorry, just PETA, don't look. But you'd be amazed how many people film their hunts with high-end cameras and never post it. They just do it for themselves. You're talking thousands of dollars of camera equipment going up in a tree. And it's amazing. What's up, Marshall? How's up, buddy? Yeah, I hunt. I know. It's just once in a while. I can't wait. About 39 days, not that I'm counting. I think it's 39 days to the Kentucky Bow Opener, and I'm excited about that.
Right.
Hey, thank you to Rhett Lyons, by the way. He said he's been watching the channel, but he didn't realize he wasn't already subscribed. So,
listen, where we at? We're so close, man.
So close.
we're
so close.
If anyone has not subscribed anyone has not subscribed to My Clutter Garage, please hop in there and do it.
Yeah, just go from well, there was one more. It just go from, if you're on our channel, you can't say, if you're on my channel, you gotta click over and go on his channel. The live is on his channel as well, so you can just still pick up right there.
Yeah, if you're subscribed to Tony, don't hit the button. You'll unsubscribe.
Yeah, don't. I noticed my count going down.
Don't undo it.
And I'm not turning down subscribers today either. Everyone, Joe the farmer.
That's true.
Come on over there.
You know what? I should mention that because we have our regular viewers here, and I would assume that they already are subscribed to both of you, but maybe they're not, and I'll remind them to please jump on your channels and subscribe to you as well.
Kevin, I'm just using AirPods. What are they called? AirPods.
AirPods. Yeah.
There you go. AirPods. I don't have a fancy microphone. I'd probably break it.
Well, I don't have a fancy microphone. Listen, I think this microphone's like $100, and
that's the most expensive thing in Paris, Tennessee. I mean, we're
probably
really now.
But I'm just saying that the last one I had was about $40. And it lasted me it died. And that's the only reason I got this one. And, the technology is so cheap now. You can get a really decent sound for, but,
well, I'll be honest. And again, being vulnerable with people, like the going live thing, I think that there is when you're on YouTube, I think that a lot of it takes courage to do it. First of all, second of all, it's the old, imposter syndrome. Like, do people really want to watch me live on a YouTube video? I mean, why? I have to deal with myself every morning when I shave. So, I mean, it's,
Look at there.
but it's fun. I enjoy it.
Y'all seen that number, right? We can't
Three
leave.
away.
Yet. We can't leave.
997.
I mean,
997.
we were supposed to go to 8 o'clock, and we can't leave at 3.
Well, we started 10 minutes late, Tony.
Because I didn't push go. I mean, go live. That's my one job I had. Push the go button.
Oh, we just lost one.
Oh, we lost one.
Well, don't be that way. You put
Well,
the
maybe
wrong
they
way.
want to watch. They want us to go longer. That's why.
That's what it
Maybe
is.
so.
We've got 74 people watching here, and I have one poll up here. It says, I believe TYM is manufacturer of Real King tractors, and that is a fact. TYM makes all of Real King's tractors. They make a lot of the Mahindra tractors, or they have in the past. I think they're getting away from that. Zetter, they make a lot of the Zetters, and who else do they make? They bought out Branson and kept the whole entire line going. So, yeah.
Yeah,
tell you
I've said a few times that TYM and these other manufacturers that are lesser known, they're really stepping up, and I think that the big name guys, they need to step up their game. I think because of these other manufacturers.
Absolutely. I mean, the 3 big companies out of South Korea are making. They're basically following the old Kubota. I'm going to date myself. So the old Kubota tractor company come out in the 80s, and I can remember all of my uncles. We were John Deere green, and if you said anything other than John Deere green, you would they would bury you in the backyard with just your head sticking out. That was so. This is the way it was. And, they would say back, Kubota's that other piece, it's from Japan, whatever, you had all that stuff. And, Kubota come in and they just start making a really bulletproof tractor at a really good cost. And it was easy to work on, and it won people over. You started seeing these little farms, you're seeing big farms with a little Kubota on it. Mm-hmm. They were using it around the barn to, muck stalls. And they were really the one that brought the first loader, like the little loaders on small tractors. They're the ones that did it. Ed, man, we're so close, dude.
We're so close.
Who's going to be the one? So somebody needs to subscribe and then write in the comment section, I'm 50,000.
Yeah, somebody's been holding out because they want to be that 50,000th.
Tony, while you're talking about the Kubota.
There we are.
Oh, there we go.
All
right.
Fireworks.
We did it.
That is so cool.
Thank you to whoever that 50,000th person was. Thank you for that. Hey, and Joe, you were talking a while ago, and I wanted to piggyback that when you mentioned that 50,000 is like a stadium full of people.
Mm-hmm.
How you think of each subscriber as somebody who, a family or an individual. And I have to say that I never thought of the 50,000 in those terms of like a stadium full of people. So I always think of the subscribers, like you said, one at a time. And I always heard, you build a channel, one subscriber at a time. And I never actually looked at that number and thought about what it represents, because I think about the individuals that we're seeing here tonight in the live chat, especially. We almost know these people. We almost know one another.
I think it's a valid point, and it's an awesome responsibility too, because they are inviting us into their life. You got to look at it that way. That we are in their lives, and in many cases they get in ours too. I mean, there's people that have commented on our channel for 6 years, and I know them. And a lot of them we've even met at shows, and I've had some people that have drove from like Illinois down to to meet, and we go out to eat dinner here. We've become friends. So yeah.
Well, Tony's my brother in Christ. We met through YouTube. Like we talk just about every day. So yeah. It's it's amazing what YouTube can do when it's used for good. And I will say, we all deal with comments. And sometimes you deal with, the clowns, but at other times, I mean, you can get a comment that's just so kind and uplifting. It just makes your day. So it's, there's lots of good out there too, man. See,
Ed don't get bad comments though. because he is like the nicest YouTuber.
He's going to now. He's got 50,000 subscribers, man. He's a big dog now.
I get some comments. I've got them filtered as well.
There you go, bud.
So
All right.
Fly High Edits.
All right.
50,000.
Fly High Edits. All right.
That's actually somebody really special who I know. So we'll keep that. I'll keep that to myself.
Well, listen, Fly High Edits. I can't pull up my email, but if you go to my channel, find my email, send me your name and address, and I'll send you some of my stickers.
There we go.
So that's kind of our winner tonight. So Fly High Edits, we'll give them the credit for being number 50,000. So email me. You can find it on my about section. It's contactmcgtv@gmail.com, but that's a lot to remember. Anyway,
is it on your little intro at the bottom?
No, that was just the link to the channel but if you go to the main page, the about section, there's an email.
See, I didn't even know you could do giveaways on here.
Yeah, I'll show you sometime offline. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty fun thing to do.
Right.
Thank you, Linda. That's everything to us. So, real quickly, I wanted to talk about something that I know we have a lot of tractor nuts in here, right?
Yeah.
And I hope that, and I think that all three of our channels, even though we all have a brand on our channel, it doesn't mean that like one is bad or one is good. Like everyone makes a good product these days, right? There's not it's Ford, Chevy. We love to rib each other, but they're great. But there's one thing that, and I say that because I want to qualify it before I say this, because I don't want to seem like I'm a TYM fanboy. I don't even have my TYM tractor yet. However, when I started researching that Coupe J engine, I didn't know much about it. And when you hear that most tractor engines have, and again, Tony, you're going to know this better than I would because you've been a mechanic for 30 years, but like all the sensors that drive us absolutely bonkers on tractors when one goes bad, there's like 3 sensors on that Coupe J engine to where, and not that we recommend it, but if all that emission stuff was ripped off, it still runs.
It's a manual engine. It is a 100% manual engine with a regeneration system put on top of it. So
there's no computer, right?
There is, but it just controls the regen. So if something goes wrong, it has no effect on how the engine runs. It doesn't go into limp mode. It doesn't have all that. All it does is it keeps an eye on the particulate count in your particulate filter. When the particulate filter has enough back pressure, it'll spray fuel in it and cause the particulates to burn off, because it'll burn really, really hot and at real high RPM, and then it'll go back to normal. But most TYMs, mine's 400 hours on my big tractor. It's never regen ever, because I run it hot all the time anyway.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that, because my 2601 doesn't have any regen because it's under the horsepower rating to have that. But I've heard that if you run these machines hard enough, they don't really go into regen, because you're kind of, I guess they run cleaner when you run them high RPMs and use them like they're made to be used.
They do. Some of the higher end tractors have it'll have a 540 and a 540E. So like, for instance, my Coyote has a 540E function, as well as I believe the 5520 will have it. And what that does is that's where it'll hit the max PTO at a lower RPM. Right. So it changes the gearing somehow.
You lose your horsepower, but like if you're just clipping right, like short grass, you don't need all that horsepower.
Yeah, so or running a chipper or something like you're running your, the chipper that you have, Ed, and like you don't need all the drive horsepower and hydrostatic and all that stuff. So that's not going to be running it as hot. Even with that though, I think my Coyote has gone through maybe 2 regens since I've had it. But the reason I bring all this stuff up is at the very beginning when I bought and again, I'm not knocking them at all. It's been a fantastic tractor. I have nothing but nice things to say about it. And I have no intention to sell it right now, to be quite honest. We still need it. But when I had 11 hours on it, I started getting dummy lights and it'd go in limp mode and dummy lights. And they had to come out and reflash it and reflash it and reflash it. They replaced the computer, and then they reflashed it again and finally went back to the prior software that they had, and it was fine. So that was kind of a frustration with 11 hours on it. But it's I just think it's really interesting how that Coupe J engine, which is now branded as TYM, they've changed it. Coupe J is KUKJE, and it's a little difficult to explain, but
They don't even make Coupe J anymore because TYM bought the company out, so it's not even it's just TYM engine now. So they don't even call it a Coupe J any longer. Hey, I just want to call out my buddy here, Jake from ITC Quick Attach. I met him in Maine at a tractor show, and we've become good friends. And Joe, me and you're going to interview him next Tuesday. He's got
awesome,
cool attachments for tractors.
Ooh, that's
quick story. The chainsaw, he probably wouldn't want me to tell this, but the chainsaw holder on the side, and the one he's got is like solid metal. And I was distracted. And I backed into a tree and literally took the whole chainsaw holder, chainsaws in it, and it just said like this. It's got a bar that clamps it to it, and it didn't damage anything. It just turned it, and it instead of tearing my chainsaw up, it just moved the whole thing around. And then I being Tony, instead of taking it off and fix it, I backed up, pulled into the tree, and pushed it back straight. And no dent, no damage, no nothing. And because all it is the clamp system.
That's some country repairs right there.
Yeah, but listen, and it's still there. And the chain, matter of fact, I think the chainsaw is still in there. I don't even think I ever took it out.
Joe, are you gentle with your equipment, or do you? I mean, I like Tony. I've bent some things up, and I might tend to push a little harder than I should. Do you consider yourself more? Are you more careful than Tony and myself?
I don't.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm careful. I didn't. We'll put it this way. I didn't grow up with a whole lot, so what I have right now, I consider myself very, very blessed and very fortunate, and I take care of everything because I just feel like I'm supposed to, right? And I use it. I don't have any. There's no pretty things on the farm that don't do anything. Everything has a purpose, or else it has to go, and then we just parlay that into other things that we need. I recently bought a skid steer, which I still have a scar from the kidney I had to sell to buy it. But
don't you know? Beautiful machine though.
Oh, it really is. And we have 125 acres, so we have 5 miles of fences. We have trees falling down all the time because it's a lot of old trees, lots of wind, lots of storms, and there's a lot of places where the tractor is not very stable to be on those areas. So we have a lot of plans with this equipment as well as this channel. And again, I know that folks hate seeing people on YouTube get equipment, but it has been a blessing for us to be able to get some of the tools that we've gotten because we couldn't afford to just go out there and buy them anyway. So, to use them and to use this platform and to give honest reviews of it. And if it doesn't work well or it's junk, we're going to get rid of it and we'll just say, hey, listen, this isn't something we use. But by and large, most of the things that I'll do any kind of sponsored content with, especially like attachments or something like, I talk to other creators before I even say yes. So I know it's either like, hey, you should do this, or this is a waste of your time.
Right.
So
listen, we're getting long in the tooth here. So I think we need one more useless piece of information before we got 65 people here. A sneeze travels at 100 miles per hour. Now, who checked that? That's what I want to know. Who sit around with a radar gun and going, well, that's 99, buddy. You got to do better. It's not a fast car.
Holly and I I was reading the news the other day, and I saw that some headline says like 20 sharks off the coast of Florida have tested positive for cocaine. And I said to my wife, who's the one out there testing the sharks for drugs? Yeah. And how many tested negative? Like,
how does a shark on cocaine behave differently? Too. Like
probably not very friendly.
Probably not very friendly. Hey, happy Lasagna Day, by the way. There's a fun fact for you. Today's National Lasagna Day.
Yep. Well, guys, got Ed here for a few more minutes. Got Joe here for a few more minutes. If you got any questions for us tonight before we sign off, please throw them up on the comment section. We'd love to answer them. Thank you guys so much for getting it over 50,000. That is such a blessing to me.
Thank you so much.
I was really nervous, man, because we were getting really close to the end of this thing, and I was like, they're not coming through for us. But they sure did.
I felt it. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen.
That's something we all have. We'll be able to share for now on.
That's right. Why don't you show that again, Tony, just so folks can see it?
Yeah, look at that.
We even went one over 50,001
subscribers. And what you start out with here, you were like
900 and
You're like 26 from
we were
26
at 20
short.
yeah, like we were like 975, 974, something like that. So yeah,
Well,
that's
congrats.
fantastic.
It's a privilege to be here with you when you hit that milestone. That's amazing.
That's amazing. Now
Yeah.
now there's some statistics out there that people that have 50,000 subscribers, you are like in the 0.05 of channels that have 50,000 subscribers. It's that there's not very many, man. And the further you go up, the less that there are. There's like, billions of channels with, 2-3 subscribers. But when you get to 50,000 subscribers, you are in the less than 1%.
It's a milestone and it's an honor for sure. Yeah,
I'm just proud we got to share it with you, man. That's freaking awesome.
I'm so happy too. This was so fun to be able to do it with the two of you here as well. What a good time.
Really.
I really appreciate you having me on tonight. And I hope that we'll do it again. And maybe I'll have you guys, well, you're kind of on my channel now because we stream this.
We're on 3 channels at once.
So
I love it.
I never did that before. So that's neat to know how that works.
Yeah. You just got to push go. You just have to go live. I bet you I have to push end stream too for this to come to an end.
And remember, you got to click it twice.
Okay, click it twice. Are you sure you want to?
Right.
Well, guys,
don't stay live.
Any last thing from you guys?
I just want to thank you. I want to thank you both for.
Well, can I get 2 thumbs up?
Yeah, some fireworks.
I love that. I got to figure out how to do that. That's too cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But sincerely, I thank you both. I think the world of both of you. And Tony, you and I have connected several times over the years, and I appreciate our.
Yeah, I like you better than Joe.
Our kind of our virtual friendship, but we'll meet up.
Joe's my bud.
Yes, he is. So
if I had feelings, they'd be hurt.
I know
you guys are doing this every Tuesday, so
yeah,
I'll encourage my viewers on Monday night to come here on Tuesday night, and
we'll do the same to you. Maybe we'll pop in on your Monday nights.
What was that?
So maybe we can pop in on your Monday nights.
That would be fun. That'd
create havoc.
That would be a great time.
Well, and thank you to everyone who's spent this much time with us tonight and has been watching.
An hour and a half people have gave to us, and I appreciate that. That's amazing. I got there's one more.
And it's late for me. You guys are an hour behind.
Don't say anything else, because he'll start doing this to you.
It's so late.
Iron sharpens irons.
That's right. All right, guys. That's it.
Thank you all so much.
Love y'all all. Appreciate you so much. God bless
everyone.
Night.
Thanks all.